This is the mother of all podcasts.
Yeah. Check this out.
It's the Happy Hour with the DallasCowboys.com All-Stars.
An all-star in my entire life.
Well, good, because we have an all-star crew tonight. Of course, I'm Taylor Stern, Nate Newton, Dave Hellman, Mickey Spagnola, Brian Broaddus, the guys that know it best about the Dallas Cowboys. I am honored to be in your presence right now.
It's an honor for you to be here, man, and for Dave Hellman to be an all-star for the first time in his life. Hey, man, I'm pumped up.
I'm trying to get like you, Pro Bowl, Nate.
Yeah, Pro
Bowl. Trying to get like you.
We're just all-stars. You're the Pro Bowler.
You're the Pro Bowler
man,
for sure.
We got this rocking, man.
Yeah.
Where you want to go with this, Tay?
Oh,
What?
we're going to have so much fun. Obviously, we know everybody who is here at Concrete Cowboy at the Star in Frisco is obviously here for the Happy Hour podcast. So we'll get them involved. Nate, you'll get some good fan questions
yes,
out there.
I will be out there in about 5 minutes. I'm going to be bugging you, harassing you, and I will come up with a question for you if you don't have one.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Victory Tuesday here as we extend our win from Sunday. And, Mickey, you've obviously let the tie loose, but I know you've been busy talking about that win.
I have been, and answering the same question over and over and over again on what was the difference. And it's like, well, my quarterback was standing on his own 2 feet instead of laying on his back most of the game like he did in the season opener. So that's a good thing, isn't it, Nate, when the offensive line keeps his quarterback up?
It's a great thing, and you know what? But I'm going to defer to my man over there in that far left corner because I want to know why was our quarterback standing in this game.
Well, I'll tell you what, I feel like, though, that to me, when you watch the way the game unfolded, and first down was a different down for this football team. You know, he comes out, he runs 11 personnel, he spreads things out. You know, instead of getting in 12 or 13 personnel with the multiple tight end packages and then trying to run Zeke in there for 2 yards, like Mickey says, is a little bit different when you're calling plays at 2 and 6, 2 and 4, those kinds of things. I feel like, though, that the offensive play calling was different just because, and they allowed the quarterback to play a little bit more in the game. They just didn't make him a drop-back passer. They asked him to do some things that he's comfortable doing. The read option stuff that took advantage of an aggressive defense, and I felt like that overall, if you look at what they were able to do on early downs, stay ahead of the chains, find a way to move the football, and that's what they were able to do.
Dave's chilling back here. What do you got to say?
Is it too? Thank you. Appreciate
Well,
that.
I like this stance. It's very Happy Hour.
And it is.
Is it too is it too simplistic to say, like, did you see the Scooter Magruder video that our friend Scooter Magruder did where
I heard it, I didn't see it.
in the first quarter he's like, oh, somebody else is calling the plays. Who's calling the plays? And then, like, the third quarter he's like, oh, Scott Linehan's calling the plays again. Like, it felt different and fresh and good to start, and then there was like a malaise in the middle.
There were some times, though, in that game where he called plays and whether it had leakage in the offensive line or a bust.
For sure.
But they had guys open. I mean, if you go back and watch, you know, the pass even that went to Rico Gathers that he almost brought in on there, you know, they got behind on the 2 holding penalties back-to-back. They converted both of those. It was a 3rd and 1 convert, a 3rd and 11 convert. So, you know, it's a little bit of the if you can find ways to move the ball, but protect your quarterback like Mickey's talking about, but also, though, come up with some things. I don't think it was an overly creative game plan. I think it was just the way that he called the game. It wasn't first down run, first down run, first down run.
Well,
it was a little bit more of a mix.
It was no creativity. It was your athletes performing and executing. With this offense here, we can say what we want about being creative, but running a 9 route, you can't get creative on a 9 route. This dude just ran straight down the field and caught the ball. And what that did was it loosened up everything.
Yes.
And so it looked creative. Now, when you run a jet sweep or a fly sweep, as the announcers like to call it, now you got guys guessing because you don't know.
Reverse comes back the other way,
first and second down is so key for this team.
Right.
And I hate to say it, Hellman, help me. I hate to say it, not being behind the chains. I'm so tired of hearing that word, being behind the chains.
Yeah.
But if we play to our talent, if we know what these receivers can do, because I'm betting each week as the receivers get better, I think this whole team would get better.
See, he's talking about there's a guy that wasn't used to being behind the chains. It affects the way that NFL teams play. If you look at the Seattle game last night, what happened to them? Behind the chains. That's bad for them. It's something you might not want to hear, but it's death. It's death to these guys.
I liked
and
last
the other
night.
thing I think you need to remember is they only had 8 possessions. They only ran 50 plays. They scored on half of them. So if they scored one more touchdown, Dave, you wouldn't say there was malaise, right? 27 points?
But it doesn't it doesn't change the fact that from halfway through the first quarter until the fourth quarter, it just didn't look as pretty. And that's fine. I get it. This is a young team.
How many possessions do you think they had in the third quarter?
2, probably.
Are you going to tell us?
Maybe 2.
And they went
3 in the second half.
They went 18 yards backward in one and had a bad overthrow
on
on
the
the
other
other
2, right?
Let me say this. How many possessions
Everything's
you
great,
have?
Nick. You're right.
I didn't say it was great.
How many possessions you have or how many possessions you don't have, you at the end of the night, you have to score 7. Because if you have 5 possessions and all of them ended 7, how many points is that?
35.
Right. That's big time.
And if you kick field
So
goals,
it
it's
don't
15.
matter.
I
If
can't
you
do
have
math.
4 possessions, if they all come out with 7, you score points. The deal is the defense decide how many possessions you get by getting you off the field or how bad your offense play with penalties. If you have a penalty-free game, and your defense ain't playing well, you're gonna have less possessions.
Okay.
And our defenses, believe it or not, even as well as they played, did not dominate this game. We had an 8-minute drive.
That's a hot take right there.
We had an 8-minute drive in the second half.
Fourth quarter.
Would you rather chop that up in 5 possessions, or would you rather have one long possession?
No, I hear you.
With us, what we have to do, and this is what I believe, is that, and I'm gonna get from up here, let you brains talk. What I believe is, after you become better and better and more acquainted with your offense, and when the offensive coordinator learn who these guys is, then they can become more creative. But you can't be creative if you don't know who these guys are. Thank you. I'm gone. Got to go get some pizza.
Drop the mic.
And there.
Nate. All right. Well, as we segue into the Happy Hour podcast, I want to know one guy that made you the happiest. I know we've gone over everybody, and we've gone over Dak, and you've been asked about Tavon Austin a million times. But if you had to say one guy that made you the happiest, it could be a coach. Go ahead and choose him, Dave.
Oh, it's easy for me. And at this point, if you go all the way back to when we started training camp, it's probably cliche. I bet you're tired of hearing it, but, how can you not be just pumped about Jalen Smith? Oh, my gosh. He looks phenomenal out there. Again, we beat it into the ground, but, he looks like the kid that played at Notre Dame. He's fast. He's instinctive. He's physical. He nailed Eli Manning, just knocked the absolute crap out of him. And honestly, I said this on one of our other shows. I thought the play where he chased Saquon Barkley down for a loss on, one of the first plays of the game, I think that was the most impressive thing he did. Scratch that. He carried Odell freaking Beckham down the seam on a passing route. He's an insane athlete, and I'm so happy for the guy that he's getting to showcase it.
I love it. Nick is providing the beverages to
Very good.
I love it.
Keep us hydrated.
Dave looks like he's double-fisted here.
Yeah, let's do
Mick
it.
has rolled up his sleeves now, so now I really want to know who made you happy, Mickey.
Thank you.
You know what? I'm going to go, not to double down, I'm going to go with Taco Charlton.
Ooh, I like
He
that.
played the most snaps of his career in one game, and I thought he held up because he wasn't rotating with no Randy Gregory. He was playing that right defensive end spot, and I thought he held up not only well against the run, but he did his deal putting pressure on the quarterback, and I know the sack he got, he was unblocked, and they had a missed assignment, but he still got there and put him on the ground. So I thought it was encouraging to see what Taco, speaking of taco, we have chips and salsa.
I was going to say that. You complimented that nicely as guac was presented to you.
I think there's 3 players you could talk about, and I'll mention them, but I'll say I was happy for Connor Williams. I was happy for Leighton Vander Esch. I was really happy for Tavon Austin because there's a lot of questions about really what Tavon Austin is. Is he a receiver? Is he a running back? Is he a gadget player? Is he a toy back? What is he? What is he going to bring to this game every week? And I think you saw what you can do with Tavon Austin. He can be a weapon that teams will have to deal with. I thought the best play that he made, it wasn't the bomb, even though that was a great throw, but that's him going and getting the football. He runs a comeback late. It's the third play he had. He runs a comeback late in the game, though, with Dak kind of moving to his right a little bit. He takes B.W. Webb up the field. Webb's having to respect his speed. He comes back down the stem. The ball is right there. Big play. Get you a first down, move the sticks. Got to figure out what Tavon Austin is. I think we got a little bit of an idea about that.
I like that you brought him up. He was on Cowboys Hour last night with his good bud Alan Hearns, who I guess his nickname is Big Hearn. If you guys see him around.
I was there. I heard that part.
It goes Big Hearn.
I was gonna say you got to go Big Hearn.
So that's
heard y'all
Alan
say that.
Hearns.
Not like big horns, Big Hearns.
Try it, Mick. It's
Mick,
Big
please.
Hearn.
Please
Hearns,
do it. Mick, please do it on the air.
So Tavon, I'm glad you brought up that you were happy for him, Brian, because I was questioning his touchdown celebration. I thought that he would finally be the guy to take advantage of the loose NFL rules. And he said he did have that one planned that he worked on, but it was more of a thank you.
What was his work? What was the one he worked on? Did he tell you?
He said that he knew his first touchdown after last year was one of the hardest years of his life.
Sure.
That he was just going to thank God.
Yeah, there we go.
Thank you so much for the fact that I made it through 2017. I scored a touchdown. I am playing in the NFL, and I like that. And
so what's happening on the next one?
He said that he needs to get back in the lab, work with his guys.
Oh, he hasn't got it yet.
Yeah, and Alan Hearn said that, they had practiced that play all week, obviously.
Right.
People forget that things are scripted. They're not just here hanging out at this beautiful facility.
Right.
They're doing work. He said they got that same play down on last Wednesday, same sideline, everything. Alan knew that it was about to happen. He started running out, apparently, before the whistle even blew, and he got nervous they might have gotten in trouble and got a penalty.
Well, I'll tell you what, they tried to do the same thing on the other side.
They tried
to get
Gallup,
to get Michael Gallup going too. So
yeah.
This is something that we've all seen in our time in Oxnard. They were going to have to do things to get people to back off of them so they couldn't play safeties down. Good job by Dak getting the ball where it needed to be. Great job by Austin tracking it and then getting it in the end zone.
And they ran dual routes because Gallup ran the same route on the other way.
He
didn't get any separation.
Well, they kept those tight ends in, and that helps in protection. That's what you're calling for. Give us protection. You can throw that football a long way.
Let's just get Tavon more than 18 snaps.
He said he's good with it. He said he was.
I'm not.
I think that you'll see him. I think you'll see him become more involved, and not just.
I don't need 100%.
They tried to run our favorite play. My favorite play is the shovel, the fake off the jet sweep with the shovel.
That made me mad that it didn't work.
It works in practice every single time. It opens up so nicely there, and then Zeke runs for like 20 yards, but this one only went for about 3.
Well, it was better than TCU's shovel pass.
That's fair. What do you got, Nate?
Ooh, Nate,
got us what are you doing?
Question.
Yo, man, I got my man Chuck, man. He's from Flatonia. He's from Smithville. He's from Central Texas. I mean, he's got a big fan club. He lives in Houston now, and he grew up a Cowboy fan, but he says he's now just in general, fan of the NFL. Okay, Chuck, here's your question.
So do you think we're going to have a better offensive outing this week against the Seahawks, seeing as their defense is not as good as the last 2 opponents?
It's a good question. I watched them today, and I felt like, though, that you're right. They don't have the dynamic playmakers they do in the secondary. I mean, Earl Thomas is still a very good player, but they don't have the corners. They don't have, when you talk about Cam Chancellor to come down and play the run. They were out with Bobby Wagner, didn't play last night. This is going to be a different Seahawk team, I thought the Bears did a nice job, even with Trubisky in his second year, of trying to do some different things on the outside. They were able to run the ball with a little success. So, yeah, it will be. It's not the defense. I think if you had to rank the defenses right now, Carolina, this one, the one you're about to face, and then the Giants. I just feel like, though, that still the Seahawks have the capability with the pass rush at spots, and then when you talk about the linebacker play, they still got some guys there. So
we think Bobby Wagner is a good chance to play, right?
Oh no, I think they're going to play. That's good, but yeah, I just think that it's going to be. I think it's not going to be an easy game just for the fact that they're 0-2 and you're playing in their backyard. I just don't think it's going to be one of those things where you say. Now, maybe if it was 2016 and you kind of had a feel for what the offense is going to do and be as consistent running the football, I would say, yeah, you're going to go in there and have a good day. But I worry a little bit. The Seahawks are going to give you their absolute best shot. And if you can weather the storm and get through it, you know how it is, guys. We've all been to that place. You weather the storm there, you find a way, and then you have to win the game when you need to there at the end.
Good question, Chuck.
Good question.
Nate looks like he's schmoozing that table. So
oh no, he's absolutely.
Yeah. I like that everyone's getting nervous for CenturyLink Field, but I think that if the Cowboys do what the Bears did to them last night, that it might be a little quieter.
Well,
yeah, it'll definitely quiet down, and there will be Cowboy fans there. I promise you that.
Cowboy fans love the Seattle trip.
I just don't see them. I don't see Seattle getting in a game where they're going to drop back and throw the ball a bunch. I really don't. It's to me, they're going to throw. They're going to try. How well Dallas could play press coverage in this game and deny. Is Baldwin going to come back? He didn't play last night. He's their best threat on the outside. Lockett's a really good player, but I just see the ball coming out a lot quicker in this game. I don't think it's going to be one of those things you hold, and hope for the best. I really just don't see the Seahawks doing that.
What they spent for Penny, don't you think they're going to they try to get a dollar bill out of it?
Yeah, they've been that's a good one. Cha-ching, there you go. But, yeah, I think that –
might as well use my good stuff here.
Yeah,
tonight,
they've been rotating backs. That's what they've been doing. Penny hasn't been the starter. I mean, they've been rotating these backs, so –
Seattle right now because Chris Carson didn't touch the ball after the halfway point.
And that's been their starter. That was their starter last night.
Yeah.
Before we have to go to our first break, it looks like Nate has another great fan question for the panel here.
What do you got, Nate?
What you got, Nate?
Hey, look here, man. I got Sean, I got Jason. Jason gonna have the questions. They listen to all of our shows, Hanging, Breaking, every show that we have. They listen to. He's from Winnipeg, and you're from where?
Winnipeg.
Oh, they're both from Winnipeg. He has season tickets. That's why I told both of them to come up. Jason has a question for you guys.
Yeah, no, I just wanted, I guess with Bryce Butler getting re-signed, I don't know if you guys touched on that, what the receiving corps is going to look like. Obviously, there's going to be probably not room for everyone with Noah Brown still waiting to come back this year. If that means Terrence is maybe out of the picture, if anyone else is going to be hanging around much longer.
Yeah, that's a good question because I'm surprised that they had 7.
It's
shocking. I fought that.
It's shocking.
Yeah.
So I mean, they released Tyree Robinson.
Yeah.
So they got
young
Bryce.
Safety.
They got Bryce onto the roster, but I mean, in the NFL, 7 receivers isn't unprecedented, but it's very unusual. And
who doesn't dress? To his question.
If I had to guess,
if you're going to dress 6, who's your 7th one? Who's out?
There's 2 lines of thought here. One is that Bryce just got here, and so you don't dress him right away.
Right.
But he'll have all week to practice. The other one is that Terrence Williams has had almost no role whatsoever with this team through the first 2 weeks, which is honestly shocking to me because he's your most veteran receiver.
Garrett said he was more of in the walk-off 12, 13 personnel wide receiver. That they brought him in as a blocker.
Again, though, you're talking Terrence Williams has started for this team from his rookie year.
Right.
From his rookie year, he was the guy behind Dez. This is his 6th season?
Yes.
And he has played 19 snaps. 29. I'm sorry, 29 snaps so far this season, which is a shockingly low number in my opinion. And I just, I don't know anything, and I don't know that it'll involve Terrence, but I don't think you carry 7 receivers on this team for like a prolonged period of time. I just don't think that makes sense.
Well, do we think Bryce is ready to play?
When it comes to a certain player, too.
Well, no, not play calling. I was just wondering what you thought of Rico's game. It looked like he had a pretty easy touchdown there.
My guy should have had a touchdown.
Did someone ask you that already?
No. I'm saying he should have had a touchdown. You're absolutely right.
He should have.
He ran a nice route.
I put that more on Dak than Rico, unfortunately.
Yeah,
wasn't he under pressure?
He
was under pressure on the other high throw that tried to.
On the high throw,
Yeah.
Zeke picked up they had the blitzer inside, which was Ogletree. They picked him up. Zeke, I asked the question, too, about cutting him down there, and he's got to stay up. If he stays up, that has an opportunity to make a big play.
So do we think Bryce is ready to play?
He could be by the end of the week.
Ooh, that is a great
two
note.
practices?
He's going to get
get
3 practices. He's been on this team
the
before.
offense hasn't changed.
The offense isn't that much
But he hadn't done anything in 3 weeks.
The offense hasn't changed. I mean, he ain't going to run. The way this thing is being spread out, he going to run 3 routes, and he threw for the game anyway.
If you need him to play, he could play.
Yeah, he could play, man.
I bet. I don't know. I don't know what to make of that. It's a very interesting situation.
Do you think they're just kicking a tire?
Thank you.
Because it's a free look.
Yeah.
They didn't pay him anything.
No, for sure. I mean, yeah, he's got to be on like a vet minimum deal. I don't know.
He's on the vet exception deal, as a matter of fact.
There's something else at
Let's
work.
get more into Duffel after we take our first break here at Concrete Cowboy at the Star in Frisco. Join us. Happy Hour Podcast. Cheers for everyone here.
Hey.
Woo! We'll be right
It can be hard to find the right resource for learning about important financial matters. You search how to build savings, you end up reading about the one weird ingredient from supermarkets that can make you taller. That's why Bank of America built BetterMoneyHabits.com, a safe little corner of the internet for answering your financial questions. Full of simple videos and tips, Better Money Habits can show you how to make the most of your money without resorting to random searches that always seem to lead to unbelievable photos of childhood stars grown up. To learn more, visit BetterMoneyHabits.com.
I definitely have an Instagram foodie thing, but the low-light camera on my new Samsung Galaxy S9 from AT&T is getting me a whole new world of likes and shares. Baskets of bread by candlelight, colorful fruit plates in full sun. Even a dimly lit Cobb salad was recently hailed as a masterpiece.
Come in now and ask how to get half off the new Samsung Galaxy S9 from AT&T. AT&T, more for your thing. That's our thing. Limited time only. See store for details or att.com/Samsung50. The dual aperture supports f1.5 mode and f2.4 mode. Dual aperture is installed on the rear camera.
Oh, I am craving a Dr. Pepper. I got some soda. I asked not for soda. I asked for ice-cold, craveable Dr. Pepper. Its flavor is more one-of-a-kind than a four-toed sloth with a thirst for speed. So stop settling for soda and start demanding Dr. Pepper. I love sloths. When you crave a Dr. Pepper, nothing else will do. Grab an ice-cold 20-ounce Dr. Pepper today. Dr. Pepper, the one you crave.
To work this big land, you need equipment with values rooted as deep in Texas soil as you are. Like John Deere compact tractors with a 6-year powertrain warranty and big features that help you work less so you have more time to do what you love. John Deere was first in the Texas fields, and we're proud to be on the field as the official ag and turf equipment of the Dallas Cowboys. Find Texas-sized deals at myjohndeeredealer.com/football. Terms, conditions, exclusions, and warranty limitations apply. See dealer for details.
It can be hard to
Back to the happy hour.
Yeah, check this out.
With the DallasCowboys.com All-Stars.
I'll never get over that. That is pretty great. Of course, we are rolling for the Happy Hour podcast. Mickey's got his sleeves rolled up, tie undone. Dave's chilling. Brian's over there just scouting up Seattle.
I am.
Are you ever just off? Do you
Yeah,
ever just think
I
not
do.
about Cowboys football?
It's the happy hour, Brian. Like
do.
you're a little too buttoned up for my
I feel
tastes
like you
right
just
now.
need to tell us something that you do when you're not watching film.
Well, Taylor,
Yeah.
I watched my LSU
Yeah.
Tigers, and I
Yeah.
watched NASCAR on Sunday,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
then it's time to get back to the tape.
And then there's Monday Night Football and
Yeah.
Thursday Night Football.
Brian doesn't watch Monday and Thursday Night Football.
I watched it last night just because of the Seahawks.
If it hadn't been the Cowboys' next opponent, would you have watched it?
No, I would not have.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, that makes because I think a lot
It
of
was
people.
the Bears.
But no, I love the Bears. But I mean, I know I was going to watch the tape. That's why.
Brian
I-
doesn't. Brian doesn't watch football that doesn't involve the Cowboys or LSU.
A lot of
That's true.
people who only know you from Cowboys shows, podcasts,
Yeah.
Mickey Next Star, everything that you all do. What is one hobby that you have?
Racing.
Racing.
I mean, absolutely love racing. Yeah, I mean, and it's hard for me once the season gets started because it's starting to be the end of the season for racing. The championships are on the line, and I can't watch. So that's what I do. At night, I'll go home, and YouTube is the great time machine, as you gave it that nickname. And you go back, and I watch races. I watch races from Singapore and all these other places that I love. I love auto racing.
I'm sorry. Your hobby is YouTube in general. Like you
Yes.
just watch cooking tutorials.
I watch cooking.
And
Well, I do watch cooking. I do, and I love recipes, and it's boring, but I do. I'm fascinated by how to cook. I really am. If I had to do it over, I think I would have gone to culinary school when I was your guys' age.
And I'd have been right next to you.
Yeah,
You'd have been good at it.
When I was 23, 24 years old, I should have gone to culinary school.
This is about to shock me because if you guys had to tell me or ask me what I think Mickey's hobby is, I don't think I'd have an answer. Probably cooking, maybe.
Mickey
What
can
is
make
it?
pizza,
Yeah.
right?
Second hobby, I used to play a lot of tennis until I kind of got sidelined.
Yeah.
But, yeah, cooking. On the weekends, I'd love it
Yeah.
when I don't have anything to do.
What's your specialty?
Whatever you want, I can cook.
Woo!
Outside,
You guys hear that?
smoke it, grill
Damn.
it,
all right.
Italian food.
if we pay you, will you do a team dinner for us one night?
I might.
Okay.
You get all the ingredients. Let me be your sous chef. I'll do it.
Yeah.
I'll help you along.
You'll cut it up for me.
I'll cut. I'll be a prep guy.
I've got the hat for that too.
I got the coat.
All right.
I want to see that.
And
Okay,
I've
what's
got,
your
and I've
hobby?
got the chef's hat too, by the way.
Reading?
Yeah, what a lame hobby. Yeah, like I don't really have a hobby because I think of football as football was my hobby my whole life, and then I got lucky enough to turn it into a career.
Hashtag blessed.
To quote Paul Rudd, I used to slap a de bass. I wish I still did. I should play more, and I want to learn how to play banjo, but I haven't gotten around to it. But,
Hey,
yeah.
Nate, what's this guy's hobby that you got here?
Drinking.
Collecting people, collecting fans, and bringing them to you guys with these tough questions.
Yeah.
Nick from Salina, he has a nice question for y'all.
Awesome. So as a Cowboys fan, you know, we've had a lot of changes in the offseason. We lost Witten. We lost Dez. What are your thoughts on losing Bailey?
Oh, good question. Yeah.
My thoughts on losing Bailey.
Give me a couple more games.
I mean, no, because we said this when it happened. I don't appreciate the way the Cowboys did it, and it's not my call. They don't ask for my opinion. But I mean, we cover this team closer than anybody. We watched every kick he did in training camp. I didn't have the slightest idea that he was in a competition for his job. Again, if you're a fan of us, you know how we cover this team. We would have had an idea. We would have suggested something was up. This would have been a talking point. It really wasn't. So if we didn't know, I wonder if Dan knew.
I don't think Matt knew.
Yeah, I don't think he did.
Yeah. So I didn't appreciate that, but the ends justify the means. Brett Maher bounced back, and he had a nice night the other night. If it works out, it works out.
Well, I think they're all shocked. I mean, as a Cowboys fan, we relied on him, obviously, for our extra points and consistent field goals. It was a disappointment to see him gone, man. But and especially, I took a tour last week, and they still claim the reason the field goals are the way they are, so narrow for practicing, is because Dan Bailey is such a specialist, and they need to kind of change up their spiel, I think.
Do you have a theory on why they released him?
My guess would be salary cap related.
He wasn't.
Nick, you got to the bottom of this
I
one?
have no idea.
I don't think it was that.
You want to tell us?
No, I'm just saying I don't think it was that.
I think.
Good question.
I think it helped. I think if he had
It was only a couple $1 million.
if
Your
one
salary.
guy, but that's my point. I think it helped. If one guy, if they think the guy making $500K can do the job as well as the guy making $3 million, you can't tell me that didn't go into the decision.
I was just really surprised because of the number of games, and Tay and I talked about it in the first first regular season game when we did our shows with Lindsay, that that Jason Garrett is, if you look at his career record, they're 16 and 15 in games of 3 points and less.
Yeah.
So you're thinking, boy, he is in a lot of tight, tough games, and do you want to rely on somebody outside? And let's be honest, the coaches lost confidence in Dan Bailey. That's why I think Dan Bailey. If you want my 2 cents down here at the end of the table, I think they lost the coaches.
Do you think it hurt him to lose Bisaccia in the offseason more than people thought it did?
No. I think what happened the last month of the season was, and then they had the 2 bad days in Oxnard, and I think memories started to rehash in their brain. And
like trauma.
Yeah, because if Keith O'Quinn was here as the special teams coach assistant, so there wasn't. But I think that overall that the coaching staff lost confidence in Dan Bailey. They went into the front office. The front office said the same thing, and then, boom, they made the decision together.
I'll say this. The first 2 weeks, we've only had half the equation. Dan Bailey's been unemployed since they cut him. He is a Viking now. So you get to watch Brett Maher, and you'll get to see what Dan Bailey's doing, too. So it'll be interesting to see how he does.
Neck and neck. All right, Nate.
We got Brian O'Dwyer.
There we go.
Hey, all right.
Hello, Brian.
Brian O'Dwyer. Where are you from, Brian?
He's from Arlington.
Arlington.
Hey.
Yep.
Now the question, what am I doing wrong?
You're doing everything right.
Nate, you've never
doing
done
everything
anything
right.
wrong in
It's
your
live.
life.
It's live show, Nate. Don't worry about
Never done anything
It's
wrong.
happy hour.
He's got a great question.
it. Okay.
You guys are the experts, and we're just, fair weather fans watching on the weekend. And I think everything Dak Prescott's been doing is very professional. He carries himself great. He's a great athlete, but it just concerns us that if we're not ahead in a game, that he's not going to be the type of guy that can pass us back into the game like Tony Romo could. So What's your opinion on that?
This guy's from Arlington. As you can tell, he remembers Romo memories fondly.
I think maybe one of Dak's best games I've ever seen him play, pro or college, was the Green Bay Packer playoff game where he passed you back into the game because they were losing that football game, and it took a miracle play by Aaron Rodgers, who I think is the best quarterback I've ever seen play, to win that football game. I think that do you want to make him a pocket passer? No, he's not that. But if you could do things that he's capable of, but we have seen him in a playoff game. I mean, it was the divisional championship game.
How quickly we forget.
Yeah, this was only 3 years ago that he was able to make the Kansas City game, I thought, last year. You know, you look at how that game was going about, and, you know, he's been in some games where they've been behind.
I hear what y'all are saying, Brian. No. Well, I agree with you to some extent. And I mean, at this stage in his career, Dak Prescott is not the sling it all over the ballpark. We're down by 25 points. No worries. I got this. He's not that quarterback.
He's not even slinging it over half of the ballpark. I mean, even our first game, he was throwing it open receivers' feet over their head.
I will
so
say.
So are you a Romo fan? Is this the fact?
I've been a Cowboy fan for a long time. I'm just knowing there's been some games that Romo could throw people out of coverage. He would make throws that were on point, and I just haven't seen that from Dak.
No, and
it doesn't seem like if we don't have the offensive line rolling and the running back going, he's not a pass-first kind of a guy.
I don't think he'll ever be that.
I agree with you. I think that's true. And I don't think I agree with that. I'm all over the place because I think he could be that guy.
The thing is, when they make him a pocket quarterback, I don't think that plays to his strength.
No, absolutely not. But I don't think it plays to Russell Wilson's strength to do that all the time either. He is not the constantly win from the pocket guy. I watched tape of him in Denver last week where he rolled out, bought time, misdirected the Denver defense, and stood there and fired a 60-yard shot to Tyler Lockett for a touchdown.
I think that's how you have to play with this guy. And, you know, to me, I just don't. I see that they're saying about they don't think Dak can, but he's gone toe-to-toe with Aaron Rodgers twice.
Yeah, no.
You mean last year he went toe-to-toe with him? He went toe-to-toe with him in a playoff game?
Nate put the headset on because
the senator from Florida has the floor.
The question I have is, and this is the broadest and to you guys, is he a complimentary player that's learning how to become? Because I thought
the learning aspect of quarterback play here.
No, not learning how to play quarterback, but Russell Wilson 4 years ago couldn't have told to Seattle.
Yeah.
If they'd have now he has that ability, he just don't have offensive line.
Absolutely.
They drafted this offensive line for Tony Romo. They drafted the running back for Tony Romo. So,
at this point in his career, can Dak Prescott consistently carry the Cowboys on his back?
Did he do it the first 8 games last year?
Did he carry them?
Did he?
No.
Yes, he did.
No, he didn't.
Oh, go back and look.
No, he didn't.
We were all talking about how Dak put the team on his back.
Dak played great. It's not like he didn't have any help. I mean, Zeke was there. Zeke was still doing his thing.
Quarterbacks are always going to have help.
I seem to remember a game in the first 8 games last year where it was raining and Dak couldn't throw the ball and Zeke carried the ball like 65 times to get out of that with a win.
Oh, okay, 65 times.
He set a career high. That happened. I don't think Dak is that guy. I think Dak can be that guy at some point in his career.
All I know is I've seen him go toe-to-toe with Aaron Rodgers. I saw him win games.
Yes, no.
I saw him make throws at Green Bay to win a game. I saw him win a game at Pittsburgh. I've seen him win games at places I don't think Tony Romo has won at.
No, you're absolutely right, and I'm not trying to discount him. I think the world of Dak, and I think he's going to be a really good player.
Yeah, trust me, I was on the staff that brought Tony Romo here.
I still don't think at this point in his career he's the guy where you're like, everybody's hurt. Zeke is suspended. This guy broke his leg last week. It's fine. We got Dak. He's going to carry us out of this. I don't think he's that guy right now.
All right, well,
he carried you out of the Arizona game last year, didn't he? Did he?
Yeah.
He got the job done. He got the job done. You're right. He got the job done.
Some selective memory going on.
Brendan, what you got for us?
Hey, Tay, I'm sorry for sweating up your earmuffs there.
Hey,
but,
it's okay.
I shower.
Hey,
I got Bubba Bitts
Dave
from
doesn't.
Plano.
roster.
He has another name, but I don't care. Bubba, what's your question?
Vic and Ventura.
All right, this one's for the draft show, guys.
Ah.
I know it's a little early, but are there any people out there that you got your eye on? Maybe not even for the Cowboys, just top guys out there.
Yeah.
I mean, all you've been watching is LSU football.
I mean, you're right.
And the best team in the country, by the way, Tech.
Oh,
Best team.
Best team.
We want Bama.
Where's Rob Phillips? Who's the kid that put on the show for A&M the other day?
The wide receiver.
There he is. Rob, tell us.
Rogers?
Kelvin Rogers, I
Yeah,
think. That dude
yeah.
single-handedly
Yeah.
caught A&M back into that game against Clemson.
He got hurt. He didn't play the other day in that game, but yeah, I know
He
what
looks
you're talking
like
about.
a freaking stud.
Mizzou got anyone, Mick?
Drew Lock,
The
best
quarterback
in the country.
As much as Dave hates Dak Prescott, we might be looking at Locke at quarterback,
No.
Mickey.
Oh, so you're suggesting that they look for somebody
No,
in
I'm
the
just
draft.
saying.
I
I'm
didn't
just
say
saying that
that
Dave hates the quarterback
Nope.
so much.
How about we go get Kelvin Rogers and add him to this receiver corps? and it
We've
might
already
make
got 12 of those guys. Why not?
make
We
the
have about a
quarterback look better.
bajillion receivers.
8 receivers on the roster.
We got 8 receivers and 4 tight ends.
Yeah, a million
How
receivers.
about that?
What's up, Nate?
Should we bring in a veteran quarterback to back this team up, or are you guys comfortable where we standing right now?
Cooper Rush.
Why?
Depending on what veteran quarterback you're going to suggest. If
No, I'm
there's
not
one out
suggesting. I
there.
just want to know y'all feelings.
It's a little late for that.
I
think.
like Mickey's rebuttal to that because it's true. Everyone wants this veteran quarterback. I put that in air quotes because everyone just thinks if you've been in the league for a while, you must be talented, and we saw that with Matt Castle.
I'm to the point where
Wrong veteran quarterback.
But see, who is this veteran quarterback they keep talking
But
about?
looking at personnel, if you lose Dak Prescott, then likely you're thinking your season's done, even if you have a veteran quarterback. They've gone to the commitment of trying to see what Cooper Rush is, and you drafted Mike White. If you get to that point and you're trying to figure some things out, play those guys.
Yeah.
I would rather them go down with Cooper Rush playing and go down with Mike White playing and figure things out as we get to next season than I would play with one of the McCowns and find a way to just muddle along and keep my head above the water.
And that's how we got to Dak in the first place.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm 100% with that. I'm 100% with that.
Yeah.
You know, we went through that before, but I heard it was a guy named Landry Jones was lurking around.
From New Mexico.
I just heard that.
They did that workout yesterday of, Garrett said 20 guys, it was 16 guys. They worked these guys out so the coaches had the opportunity to do the workouts because they had no film from the Bears yet. So, that's what they were waiting for, a Monday night film. So, yeah, one time they'll get all the coaches on the field, bring all the workouts. This is the last time you'll see anybody work out, guys.
Final break
and
here.
I think what happened, hang on,
Mickey,
was
hold your
what
thought.
happens if Dak gets hurt, Cooper Rush is the starter. Do you want Mike White behind him? No, maybe you go sign Landry Jones.
Exactly.
I'm receiving Mike White.
All right. Well, Nate is out there getting more fan questions. When we come back from our final break, get excited, guys. We got so much fun.
This is going fast.
I know.
Cowboys fans know that the second best of anything simply won't cut it, and your skincare should be no different. A longtime locker room favorite of the players and the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Dallas-based Jack Black is the #1 best-selling men's skincare brand in the country because we make products that help guys look, smell, and feel better. Visit getjackblack.com/Cowboys to get $10 off your first order of $50 or more. Jack Black. Look good, smell good, feel good. Official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys.
Star Sports Tours is the only official fan travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys, offering exclusive game weekend travel packages with sideline access and photo ops with current players, alumni, and cheerleaders. That's not all, though. You'll get to talk X's and O's with Senior Director of Player Personnel Will McClay and, of course, with yours truly, me, Brian Broaddus. You can trust the official fan travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys, and with us, you'll travel like a pro. Visit cowboystravel.com to book your travel package today.
Before there was a draft, you could size up a cowboy by 3 simple factors: the crease in his hat, the bend of his brim, and his unbending attitude. A man Stetson didn't just protect him from what life threw at him, it projected a rugged, unstoppable spirit. Stetson hats are still American-made with pride right here in Texas. They're still the unofficial crown of all self-respecting cowboys. And Stetson is proud to be on the field with America's team. Find a retailer nearest you at stetson.com/cowboys.
I definitely have an Instagram foodie thing, but the low-light camera on my new Samsung Galaxy S9 from AT&T is getting me a whole new world of likes and shares. Baskets of bread by candlelight, colorful fruit plates in full sun. Even a dimly lit Cobb salad was recently hailed as a masterpiece.
Come in now and ask how to get half off the new Samsung Galaxy S9 from AT&T. AT&T, more for your thing. That's our thing. Limited time only. See store for details or att.com/Samsung50. With dual aperture supports f1.5 mode and f2.4 mode. Dual aperture is installed on the rear camera.
Back to the happy hour.
Yeah, check this out.
With the DallasCowboys.com All-Stars.
Welcome back. Our final segment here at Concrete Cowboy at the Star in Frisco. Make sure you join us every Tuesday night. We will be here 6 to 7 p.m. Central Time, and you might even be lucky enough to get Nate Newton to come out there and ask you what your question is.
And you know what? I have a special guest, and I think two people are going to love this.
Woo.
This is Craig Sullivan from LSU.
Go Tigers!
Tigers. I don't know how to pronounce that, but he said he graduated at the top of his class. What is that called?
Cum laude. Summa cum laude. Oh, goodness.
Yeah. So he has a question for you guys.
He colors better than the rest of us.
Where are you from?
Well, my concern is, do you feel that the present receivers at this time will mature enough to be good as we've had in the past?
Yeah. That's always going to be the question now, because it's like you're looking at Michael Gallup was the one that's probably going to have the most upside.
Yeah.
When you go there, you talked about, somebody said complimentary. Nate said, I think it was complimentary pieces. I think you have to figure out, though, what you have around him. I think they're going to have to go out and get, I don't know if it's necessarily going to be Allen Hurns or Thompson or those guys as far as going up. But I think that the one guy that I would kind of hang my hat on is Gallup, and then I think they're going to have to go get some help. If you're talking about 2019, 2020, that type of thing.
I would agree with. I think I'd be shocked if a receiver isn't among their first 3 picks in the spring.
I think about Laquan Treadwell when people are talking about going after these high receivers. What was that? The 2016 draft?
Sure was.
That everyone wanted to go after Laquan Treadwell. He was the guy that could be complimentary to Dez. Unfortunately, Laquan Treadwell didn't really pan out in Vikings territory. He ended up only getting his first touchdown this past weekend.
Yeah. We missed on that one, didn't we?
No, we did. And the thing about, you look at these receivers, though, it's a very difficult.
It's a risky.
Well, last year we were talking about DJ Moore.
Yeah.
Last year.
He had a nice game the other day,
yeah,
50 yards and a touchdown.
So, it's a hard group to evaluate, and you just got to get the right guy into your scheme. That's really the whole idea.
Thank you.
Mr. Sullivan just told me he's from Shreveport, Louisiana.
Hey,
nice.
Port City.
Very
nice.
Buddy, yeah, buddy.
Go
Yeah.
Tigers.
Well, thank you to everyone who asked all the great fan questions tonight. Give it up for all of those guys. They got you guys riled up here, didn't they, Mickey?
Nate, are you run dry out there or what? You got more.
No, I've hit everybody, and I don't want to be.
He's trying to cool down.
Hold on, we got one more. Bubba Bitts is coming back with a better question.
His name is Brendan Chavez.
We got 14 more events, and this dude talking about a draft. He trying to test our guy, brothers.
No, I just say it's okay. We start
Bubba
watching
Bitts,
tape in
once
October.
Again, try.
All right, I'm thinking of one on the spot.
Well, okay, that's all for Bubba Bitts.
Bubba Bitts, you out.
I thought you said something else.
Nate, with all these women here, they don't have a question?
Ask him until it get a little bit colder, Mick.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. Nate just needs to cool down.
All right.
Take a glass of water,
But
chill out.
my question is, and I know this is a little early, but the show comes on Tuesday, man. Brothers, you've seen a little bit of our upcoming opponent. Mick, I know you have been tinkering with the coaches and stuff. And David, you always got your nose in something. And Tay, what? I want to know what y'all think coming up, man. This team is not as good as what we just played. Our 2 recent teams. Even though New York is 0-2, and I'm talking about our offense. I'm not talking about our defense.
Isn't Pete Carroll's teams tricky, though? They always have this slow start, and then they get there.
Well, Ken Norton's their defensive coordinator, one of Nate's old teammates, so that's kind of a new. They really haven't meshed. Brian Schottenheimer's the new OC there, and forever, it'd been Darrell Bevel had been, had won a Super Bowl there, and it's very evident that he and Russell Wilson are struggling together. They're just not having the same success. I think a lot of it has to do with the personnel. I still worry about a trip to Seattle. I still worry about their defense. I still worry about, this Cowboys offense, we haven't seen the consistency. You saw some glimmer of hope that, hey, they can do this and they can do this. But is the consistency, that they need? And yeah, you're going to play a team that doesn't have the secondary it once had. It doesn't have the pass rush it once had. But they're still capable. That's a desperate football team. That's where I always worry about that.
Do you think that from a run aspect, pass aspect, mobility aspect, they're going to play the best quarterback they've faced so far in Russell Wilson?
Best quarterback?
I
yes.
think, yeah, the best quarterback.
Not
yeah.
the best athlete, but the best
quarterback.
Yeah,
best quarterback.
So that scares me in itself.
Yeah.
I mean, they got beat by Denver, but he threw for 298 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
I think I've seen it a million times on those shows, Sunday Night Football, Monday Night Football, whatever the Seahawks are playing on. They always have this graphic that will compare Russell Wilson to a one-man band.
Yeah.
And how much he
Well,
does.
It's a one-man band now.
I know, and how much he does to carry the team. I just don't think, how long can that sustain?
Well, it isn't sustaining right now. They're 0-2. But
Exactly.
I don't know, though. I agree with you. I don't take issue with anything that these guys said, but I disagree with Nate because I'll bet you $10 right now that the Giants pick before the Seahawks in the draft this coming year. The Seahawks are going to find a way to be competitive.
And look at that. The
Uh-oh.
Giants.
No,
We've got a rebuttal.
What I'm saying is, I think our defense right now is real nice.
Yeah.
Hot boys.
And if they tackle better, they'll be top. They'll be top of the league, I think, if they tackle better.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, in this season, I think that the Giants' defense, as of last week, was a little bit better than what Seattle is right now. Just right now. Now, we don't know what 16 games from now, how that'll be. I'm not worried about that, but I'm saying we should be a little bit better. Now, they have a better pass rush than Clark.
Yeah.
Clark
but
is a
Olivier's
nice
still
player.
coming back now.
Clark is a
Olivier
nice
Vernon
player.
is still coming back.
Wagner's probably going to be out there when this game
I
plays.
understand.
Did Wright play this
He
week?
did
He did not play.
They didn't have either of their best linebackers.
See, the thing, and you could probably say that. Could you say that Earl Thomas and Landon Collins are a wash?
I don't think so. I think Earl Thomas is better.
Okay, so there you go.
Challenge accepted.
Challenge accepted, Earl Thomas.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying that Seattle is not good. I'm not saying I'm
No,
not
I
going
hear
to
you.
count out Pete
I hear
Carroll
you.
and his group.
What the problem with Seattle is that they've taken the opposite approach. Well, they've had the opposite bit of luck that the Cowboys have had when it comes to offensive linemen. They've drafted some offensive linemen very high.
You're not kidding. I looked
They've
at
drafted
that today.
some first round. Iafetti, the right tackle's a first rounder. They have second round. They have Posick from LSU is a second round guy.
Dwayne Brown is a highly
Britt,
talented
the
guy.
center, was a second round guy. They've drafted. They went out and spent money on the left tackle.
I think
as well. So
the
Dwayne Brown. Remember what happened with Dwayne Brown at Houston, Texas? It was a holdout, and all of a sudden what happened? They just got rid of him.
The story of the Seahawks is that they built a dynasty caliber team by hitting in the draft, and
they haven't done it with their offensive line.
Once those guys, they haven't done it anywhere since those guys. Sherman's not there. Thomas just came back. Chancellor retired.
Shaquille Griffin's a pretty good player. The corner there.
Shaquille Griffin is nice.
Yeah.
But those guys go away, and you got to replace them in the draft, and they haven't done it at every position.
With 10 minutes left in this wonderful happy hour, I need to know.
Last call?
No, last call.
I hope not.
Y'all, great beverages and food here at Concrete Cowboy. But I need to know, guys, it was very interesting to see the flip of the fan base, the flip of the vibes of the Cowboys and what they can accomplish this season. We're in 2 games now, 1-1. What are your thoughts on this team making it to the playoffs? And seeing where the NFC East is shaping out.
I honestly feel pretty similar to how I did before the season started. I think I'm a little bit surprised that the offense has looked so herky-jerky. It hasn't looked as good as I thought it would, and I think the defense looks even better than I would have thought. I thought they'd
The hot boys are showing out.
Yeah, honestly, everything on the defense looks good. The corners look great. The pass rush is suffocating. The linebackers are showing up to play. But it all evens out. And honestly, I think people are happy about beating the Giants, but you see these fan questions. Like, people are worried about the offense. Whether they're worried about Dak, whether they're worried about the offensive line not blocking well enough for Zeke with Travis Frederick out. I think when your offense
It's a big loss.
When your offense isn't moving the ball, that at the end of the day is what people care about. The defense is a nice story, but they got to get that thing sorted out if they want to do better than not making the playoffs.
What you say, Mick?
They've got to continue to grow. I never thought this was a finished product when they started the season, especially offensively. And so can the defense buy them enough time for the offense to get to where they need to go?
I like that. That is a really good point.
When do you usually figure that out? Like
Thanksgiving?
around Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
I mean, it's 2 games.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You can't
Sure.
keep teeter-tottering. Oh, they're up. Oh, they're down. Oh, they're up. You know, they can go to Seattle and lose. That doesn't mean the season's over.
We can do whatever we want. They can't teeter-totter.
No, what I'm saying, the fans, you know, it's up and down, and that's kind of, you know, I understand the mentality.
Yeah, but Mick,
And
we've
Nate,
been in
and
this
you know
market-
what, Nate? One good thing that's happening though, and I know you like it, is they are playing these young guys.
Yeah, they playing. Yeah, but see, the fans, they've been like this ever since I got here. They've been up and down, and it's always going to be about the
And that's
offense. It's
32
always
years
gonna be-
ago.
yeah. So,
What have you done for me lately?
I think that's a really good point, though, Mick. Which
Yeah.
and the defense has looked good enough through 2 weeks. It's early, I get that, but this looks like a defense that can carry you to a few wins.
I mean, even if they played average offense in the opener, they
Right.
could have won that
No,
game,
for sure.
right?
And they,
16 points. You
If
had
the
to,
defense can keep you in it until these receivers step up and, you know, Dak gets a little more consistency. who knows?
Broadman.
Yeah, I went into the season thinking the problems weren't going to be with the offense. But
You
then
thought defense. You thought safeties.
I had more questions. I had more questions in coming into training camp about the defense and what were they going to do at the defensive tackle
spot?
You know, what were they going to do at safety?
The other defensive end spot.
Yeah, a defensive end. I mean, was Randy Gregory going to get to play? You know, that kind of thing. So I think that to me that, you know, they found Antoine Woods during a practice when he was scuffling with Travis Frederick, and all of a sudden the light came on, and he looked like a different player. So they were able to put some things together. I think the loss of Frederick is huge.
Yeah.
And nothing against Joe Looney, but I think if you look at that Connor Williams will play better as we go along. Mickey says right. These guys will grow, but it sure would have been nice to have Travis Frederick next to Connor Williams, you know, the whole time to allow him to grow. I think there are some questions about their consistency running the football. I think teams, it's not about Zeke. It's about, will teams let you run the football? And you almost have to be perfect with your blocking scheme in order now to, you know, if all of a sudden Lyle Collins goes inside instead of get the linebacker, it's a gain of 2 where it could have been a gain of 8.
Does it make you guys feel any better that your next couple of opponents are losing teams? And just looking at where you are day to day.
No, because at some point they're going to win.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Browns are hoping so.
I said this on Cover 4 today. I think I would feel better about this Seahawks game if they were 1-1.
Yeah,
instead
I'm
of
with
0-2.
you.
Yeah.
Because at some point,
Desperate football teams,
Yeah.
Brian.
I will say
at some point they're going to win.
The Lions look putrid. I mean, you
Well,
never want to write
how
a
about
game
the
off
Texans?
ahead of time, but they
how
look
about the
terrible.
Texans? You know, the
Surprising.
Texans, see, that's what I'm saying. I kind of, if you just want to play the win-loss game, you know, I was thinking back-to-back losses to the AFC South.
Absolutely.
You know, if you think about
Houston and Jacksonville.
that might not be as bad of a trip as I thought. I mean, Jacksonville is going to be a tough team, but you know, I'll take my chances at home. The Seattle game really, really bothers me. It really does.
No.
You saw the touchdown.
Stop.
Hey,
Karen
no.
Stop.
What's up?
You playing a Seattle team that's one player on off. I don't care. I don't care. They got Wilson. They got Russell Wilson. They got a quarterback. No, they lose this game, man. If the Cowboys cannot beat Seattle, come on now. One player.
This time next week, it'll be interesting to see his demeanor.
One
if
player.
in fact that one player.
One player who spent most of last year gunning for NFL MVP.
I understand.
That's all I'm saying.
He's 95% of their offense.
Yeah.
And I'll put our defense right today against him. Come on now.
I hope you're right.
I think.
All right, well, let's ask, how confident are you of your offense?
Of our offense?
Yeah.
I'm very confident. I'm 75% that if all we got to do is go in there and have a 60% completion rate and score on 4 of our possessions,
Field
we're
goal?
gonna win this game.
Bringing it 4
back
possessions.
around.
Of our possessions. If we only have
Wait, he
6,
went from 4 to 5, didn't he?
4.
4.
But I want 7. Give me 7 points on the end of those 4.
I just feel like the winner
like
of this
it.
game is going to have like 14 points.
Yeah, here they are. The defense gets you a turnover
Why?
on the
Why?
Jacksonville, the Giant 23, and you end up kicking a field goal.
Whew.
So you
Heated
can't have that.
times.
Yeah.
You guys better join us for the post-game show.
You got Seattle beating the Cowboys.
How? Why are you trying to give? We didn't say that. Why are you trying to give the pick away on a
That's gut
Tuesday
feeling
night?
on Saturday, Nate.
Nate's already got it figured out.
You got to draw this thing out, man.
Nate's
Come
got
on.
it figured out.
Nate, I think you've riled up
picks
one
the
more
Cowboys
fan
every week, doesn't he?
for one more question as we
No, I
wrap
don't
up
pick the
the happy
Cowboys
hour.
every week.
Oh,
I
my
do not
gosh.
pick the Cowboys every week. I pick the Cowboys forever in life, okay?
Hey.
One more fan. We got 3 minutes left on the happy hour. This guy looks like he's got something to
I
say.
tried it, man. He's like, nah.
He's
got
just
it.
watching.
Like, I don't want to talk to you.
He's just
Listening.
impressed. He's
Hold
impressed.
on. We got a retread coming back.
Ooh, Bubba Bits is going to redeem himself
Get this guy
here.
out of here.
It's like a
Bubba Bits once again.
It's like a boomerang.
This question's going to suck. I know it.
Aw.
Sorry. I'm sorry,
I
Brendan.
know the Hot Boys is strictly a defensive thing, but do you think Nate can join that squad and be their daddy?
Whoa.
Whoa.
No, because they got nicknames. I could join that squad, but all of them got nicknames like Hot Boy Tawaga, and you know some of the Hot Boy names.
No,
huh?
you gave one of them a new
Yeah.
nickname now.
No, Woods is like Hot Boy Tawaga. You know, Hot Boy.
I thought you called him
they
the
do
human
their number,
log.
and then they Hot Boy name like Hot Boy 99 Tawaga. That's then they go on Hot Boy
Nate,
99 92.
The human log. That's my favorite
Hot
nickname
boy
for Woods.
daddy over there.
Your picture is in the AT&T Stadium locker room with like a whole bunch of great players. Like don't concern yourself with the Hot Boys. Like they
No,
got
the Hot Boys on fire.
they got work to do to get to your level.
The
bro.
Hot Boys on fire. You better jump on right now.
Oh,
You
I'm
better-
here. I'm
you
here
better
for
get
The
it.
that-
bandwagon is getting heavy for the Hot Boys.
Jump off the pan and
Way
into
to
the
go,
fire,
Bubba
huh?
Bits. You redeem yourself,
Bubba
Bubba Bits.
Bits. He called Nate daddy, though.
Yeah.
He did.
And
We said the word daddy on our podcast. I
that
don't
is
know
a
how I feel
goal
about
accomplished for the Happy Hour podcast. Give it up for everybody who was able
Yeah.
to join us tonight.
Way to go, Nate.
The ultimate all-star crew. Can you believe it?
I can.
Dave, you're an all-star.
that. I am an all-star.
Yeah. Every Tuesday, 6 to 7 p.m., Concrete Cowboy at the Star in Frisco. Thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. All right.
No exit music.
Oh, no exit music.
Come on.